Now live from the newsroom with the very latest. Kumi.
Elaine, let's say Officer Ed Krewicki is a reluctant hero. Police tell me that he was on routine patrol when he noticed the fire, and after calling for the fire department, went into the burning building to see if anybody was there. The two-story building at 2537 Broadway caught fire just before 9 o'clock this evening. Once inside the building, Officer Krewicki reportedly heard a woman calling for help and gasping for air. Police say he went upstairs through heavy smoke and was able to get a hold of the woman, leading her to safety. Officials tell News Channel 13 that there were no reported injuries. Both the elderly woman and the officer are fine. The fire is under control now, and officials say that they are investigating the cause. Elaine?
Okay, thank you very much. Kumi Tucker reporting from the newsroom. In Troy today, what started with a tip and turned into an undercover operation ended in a raid with what police call an illegal casino. This morning, state and city police busted in on this house in Troy. Police say the basement housed an after-hours illegal gambling operation, and they arrested 25 people allegedly taking part.
We had dice, roulette machines, video machines, all that you could gamble on, and they also had alcohol that you could buy. They were serving underage minors, and they were serving after hours as well.
Tonight, Angelo Acevedo, who police say ran the gambling operation, is in the Rensselaer County Jail in lieu of $250,000 bail. His grandson, 19-year-old Ross Acevedo, is also jailed. Both face charges of criminal nuisance and promoting gambling. The others were charged with gambling and loitering and released with court appearance tickets. Well, just hours before that raid, Troy police were investigating another crime. And this morning around 2:30 a.m., 37-year-old Tyron Nixon was stabbed several times in front of 825 River Street. This afternoon, police arrested 39-year-old David Thomas and charged him with that crime. The two allegedly had an argument inside a nearby bar, and Thomas then allegedly followed Nixon and stabbed him after he left that bar. In New York, hundreds of marchers converged on the UN today.
We must demand that the human rights of the Iraqi people are met. Thank you.
From Times Square to the UN, protesters marched in opposition to sanctions against Iraq. Though an inspection deal arranged between the United Nations and Iraq has averted military action for now, demonstrators say the sanctions amount to an economic war on Iraq. Prison officials in Canada will have a lot of questions to answer tomorrow after a report that female inmates were used as guinea pigs. The Ottawa Citizen says it got a report from Canada's Correctional Services Department that says 23 inmates were given LSD as part of a scientific experiment in the early 1960s. Corrections officials declined immediate comment on that report, saying they need more time to assess it. And we'll have to put up with a little rain tomorrow. Paul Caiano is here from the Weather Center.
That's right, Elaine. At least for the first part of the day, we'll have some showers around, certainly cloudy skies, but temperatures not all that bad in the lower 40s to start out the second half of the weekend. Let's have a first look at the forecast. 6:31 a.m. will be the sunrise. As I mentioned, temperatures lower 40s, some showers around. A few hints of sunshine during the course of the afternoon. That will bump temperatures up to the lower 50s once again, and we'll bring in a few more showers the latter portion of the afternoon, maybe even a rumble of thunder. That's an indication of spring. Certainly some spring-like temperatures in the forecast, but some showers as well. Have it all coming up in a few moments. Elaine.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Well, coming up, some disturbing facts about the dramatic increase in deaths resulting from mistakes in medication. Plus news of how a bombing happened in Pakistan, and we'll give you a fresh look at an ancient tomb in Egypt never before opened. World News is coming up next.
Live, local, late-breaking, with Elaine Houston, meteorologist Paul Caiano, and Mark Mulholland on sports. This is News Channel 13, live at 11.
News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by Mazda. Come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda.
Check out News Channel 13 online with MSNBC and NBCIN.
In Karachi, Pakistan, two bomb blasts within 20 minutes of each other ripped apart that port city, and that story tops our check of World News tonight. Authorities say 7 people were killed in the attacks this morning. The bombs were placed at a general store and a music store. Both incidents happened just a few days after opposition leader Benazir Bhutto launched an anti-government drive deploring the disastrous law and order situation in that country. At least 7 people are dead after an oil pipeline explosion in northern Ecuador. Red Cross officials say at least 75 people were injured in Friday's explosion and fire near Esmeraldas, Ecuador. Half of them are suffering second and third degree burns over 90% of their bodies. In Egypt, one of the most exciting archaeological finds in decades could be taking place as scientists have opened the remains of a priest to the Egyptian kings for the first time since the discovery of King Tut. These are the first pictures of the coffin belonging to Egyptian priest Uofe, who died in the year 525 BC. And State Senator Catherine Abate was in Scotia today, not only campaigning for herself, but for what she calls better management of the state's toxic waste sites. The Democratic senator is a candidate for Attorney General, and today she went to a toxic site near Freeman's Bridge in Glenville. More than 50 years ago, a drum and barrel reclamation facility operated there, and according to Abate, from the late 1950s until 1972, that company dumped dangerous PCBs.
Where someone moved in, took over this business, unbeknownst to this owner. The prior owner discarded toxins that seeped into the soil.
Senator Abate issued a report today listing 600 sites around New York that the Department of Environmental Conservation has identified as toxic waste sites. She claims the governor and the attorney general are just not doing enough to clean them up. A spokesman for Dennis Bacco says the attorney general's record shows he is very active in environmental protection. A new report says deaths in the United States from medication mistakes have more than doubled over the past 10 years. In fact, that report says outpatient treatment has seen a sharp increase in medication-related deaths. Doctors call this new study by a UC San Diego research team disturbing and alarming. Tonight, Kumi Tucker talked to a top pharmaceutical researcher at Albany Med about that problem.
There is reportedly one new medication every week, and while the number of drugs is increasing, so is the number of deaths related to medication error. A new study has found that those deaths have more than doubled in a 10-year period, going from just under 3,000 in 1983 to more than 7,000 in 1993.
I think that much of it's related to that we see a lot more drugs. We have a lot more dangerous drugs, or drugs that have more significant side effects. We also are seeing, over the last few years, many more drugs that interact with each other.
Troubling also is the ratio of outpatient to inpatient deaths related to medication error. The study found that outpatient ME deaths rose almost 8.5 times over the 10-year period, compared to a much smaller increase for inpatients. At Albany Medical Center, the staff is always busy checking prescription orders with patient records, because that is just one of the areas where medication error can occur. It can also occur at the pharmacy, and doctors warn that patients themselves should keep track of everything they're taking.
Everything, so that all the caregivers have a complete picture of what the patient is taking. Take a list, have clear understanding of how you're supposed to take a medication. Ask and expect that your pharmacist, your prescriber, tell you.
Doctors say the study should be a wake-up call, considering the number and potency of drugs currently used.
Yes, the FDA studies them very carefully, but they really weigh benefit to risk. That does not mean there is no risk, and indeed some drugs have very high risk.
And Dr. Lassar says patients should also ask questions about possible side effects and write down exactly how much medication to take so they will have those instructions at home. Paul Caiano will be right in with his first warning forecast, but first here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Looks like March is coming in with a little rain.
That's right, and to water the flowers.
Yeah.
And the grass. We have some grass showing here in Albany. The snow is all melted, just about, just a trace of snow on the ground. And hey, why not? Look at this. The average temperature in Albany for February was 8.1 degrees above normal. Way up there. And that's on the heels of a January where the temperature was 8.3 degrees above normal. So far in 1998, 8.2 degrees above normal. That's warm. Cloudy skies right now in Albany, 42 degrees, rain on the doorstep, no wind, 36 on the dew point, the barometer falling at 29.83 inches, a few areas of low pressure to speak of, and we'll do just that in the next couple of minutes. 54 was the day's high. You can see that's well above the 37 normal reading, which we have on the last day of February. And again, temperatures the entire month have been well above normal, and the last day, no exception, an overnight low of 30. And again, that's 12 degrees above normal. 63 and -10 are the records. Statewide radar shows the precipitation now moving in from south to north in a line from about Boston along the New England border and New England coast and right up through the mid-Hudson Valley, Albany on the doorstep, Utica, Syracuse, Rochester, the I-90 corridor, Mohawk Valley getting rain right now. Even a few rumbles of thunder right out here in the central Mohawk Valley, and we could see a few rumbles of thunder during the afternoon tomorrow. Doppler radar shows the scattered showers from the Berkshires right on through southern portions of Rensselaer County, Columbia County, Albany, the hill towns getting rain showers right now. Schoharie Valley back out through Little Falls, and the Mohawk Valley getting some rain showers and a few heavier rain showers as well. And we'll zoom in on the central portion of the region. Here's Albany. This precipitation just entering the area right now. But as you head out towards about Pittsfield and Lee, some rain. The Lebanon Valley, some rain around Rensselaer, southern portions of Albany County, Ravenna, the hill towns, Bern, Knox, Westerlo, the Schoharie Valley, right on through the Mohawk Valley. Again, it's all rain as temperatures are in the upper 30s and lower 40s. 40 in Glens Falls, 42 in Albany, even some lower 40s along the East Coast. But again, these temperatures well above normal for this time of the year. And still, right now at the 11 o'clock hour, temperatures way above normal along the eastern seaboard, 75 in Miami. The coldest air is being sucked down behind the storm system, which is sitting over the Great Lakes, but still temperatures in the teens are not too bad for the Plain States. You can pick out the storm rotating around here, right around Minneapolis, and all of the moisture getting thrown out ahead of it. And this will be a slow mover, so we'll have the inclement weather through tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and eventually by Wednesday we'll start to kick the whole thing out. And as this goes along, we'll continue to filter in some cooler air from the Plain States. So tomorrow will be mild, Monday a little bit cooler, Tuesday a little bit cooler, and even Wednesday a bit cooler than that. But still, temperatures will remain in the mid-30s to mid-40s, so all the precipitation should be rain, with the exception of the hill towns, which may get a little bit of light, wet snow. But the winter storm radar shows us that we are going to look for some precipitation over the next 24 hours. We'll be back with the tonight forecast right on through the next 4 days. Just a moment. All right, my forecast for tonight, cloudy with rain throughout the area, 37 to 42. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, showers early, then breaks of sun. An afternoon storm is possible, and we won't rule that out. 50 to 55, another mild day. For tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a few scattered showers around. 35 to 40 degrees for a low, so temperatures above freezing, no snow, just rain. And the next several days, we'll bring in a little bit of light, wet snow, the highest of elevations. But again, this looks pretty ominous, just some showers of rain or snow as temperatures will hold in the mid to upper 40s. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, we'll cool it down gradually. But again, no major storms and no major cold Arctic outbreaks. Enjoy the first few days of March.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
Well, Siena basketball, the big story tonight in
Yeah,
sports.
that's where we're following. Siena battling Canisius in the MAAC tournament. We'll have the highlights and a live report. Plus, we'll have all the high school sectional scores and highlights and the Section 2 wrestling championships in Glens Falls tonight. We'll have those highlights as well. Sports is next. Stay with us.
Good evening, I'm Yolanda Vega. Welcome to the live lotto drawing for Saturday, February 28th, being observed by an auditor from KPMG Pete Marwick. Tonight you could win or share a jackpot of $10 million. The New York Lottery's mission is to generate revenue for education. Since it was established in 1967, the lottery has raised $14.5 billion for education. Tonight's winning lotto numbers are 13, 26, 11, 30, 44, 4, and supplementary number 5, making Saturday, February 28th winning lotto numbers 13, 26, 11, 30, 44, 4, and supplementary number 5. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.
Thank you, Yolanda, and good evening. I'm Mark Mulholland. The Siena College basketball team is hoping to settle a score with Canisius. The Saints lost twice to the Golden Griffins during the regular season, and you'll remember Canisius pummeled Siena by 40 points in the first round of last year's MAAC tournament. This one got such a late start tonight, kids were falling asleep at the Pepsi Arena. Canisius shooting was wide awake in the first half. Mike McCarthy with the 3, Griffs by 9. Nice looking play here from the Saints. Scott Knapp to mark his face on for the oop jam. Then Jim Canamesa, the sharpshooter, gets into the scoring act. The 3-ball cuts the Canisius lead to 6 points, but the Griffs shot real well in the first half. Jamie Kemmert had 15 before the break. He gets a couple of there. Canisius led Siena 45-33 at the half. Rodger Wyland is live at the Pepsi Arena with a quick update. How's it going, Raj?
Hey, it's going pretty well here, Mark, and as you can tell, the crowd, and certainly the student body, still in it. Over 10,000 people here tonight, and it's a 10-point game. A couple of minutes gone here in the second half, 45-35. Siena could not have played any worse in the first half. Canisius, I don't think, could have played any better. It's 46 now, 35. Back to an 11-point game. We'll have much more on this tomorrow at 6. Live from the Pepsi Arena, I'm Rodger Wyland, News Channel 13.
All right, thank you very much. Again, Siena down by 11 to Canisius early on in the second half. Earlier tonight, 7-seed Manhattan knocked off number 2 Ryder. Niskayuna native John Leonard is the coach at Manhattan. The Jaspers took the lead here in the second half when Alvin Anderson hits the bucket, 51-49. Troy High product Brendan O'Brien had another terrific night. The 3 from the top of the key. O'Brien had 19. Manhattan moves into the semifinals, 71-58 over Ryder. The MAAC board now, number 1 seed Iona beats Marist 76-55, and number 5 Loyola beats Niagara in OT 85-80. The top seed Siena women hoping to advance to tomorrow's championship game. The Lady Saints tangled with 4th seed Loyola. Gina Castelli's team looking for their 3rd win this season against the Lady Greyhounds. Siena goes up by 4 early when MAAC Player of the Year Melanie Hawker hits the bucket. Hawker finished with 17 points. The Lady Saints trailed by 3 at the half. Second half, Loyola freshman Erica Rath scores 2 of her game-high 18 points. Loyola ends a great Siena season, 58-50.
We played hard, you know, but we didn't play well enough in the offensive end to win. And you know, those are the breaks.
Fairfield beats St. Peter's this morning 64-51. The championship game is at noon tomorrow at the Pepsi Arena. Well, the best wrestlers in the area trying to earn a trip to the States in Syracuse. The Section 2 finals tonight in Glens Falls. And we show you first the first weight class, 96-pound final. Justin Group A from Galway pins Dave Woodworth from Bethlehem in 327. 103 pounds, Sean Miller from Niskayuna handled Mike Phelan from Averill Park, 16-3. Then at 112, Lenny Baker from Warrensburg takes down Matt Harrington from Cambridge in overtime to win 4-2 and head to the state tourney in Syracuse. Other winners tonight, Leonard, Torres, Whedon, Parker, Laffey, Favreau, Hubert, Fraunhofer, Vergeen, Stein, E2, and Hafler. Elsewhere tonight, the NICAC men's final. St. Rose beats Adelphi 75-70 for their 3rd NICAC title in the last 4 years. The Lady Knights also win, don't they always? Their 4th straight tourney title, beating Philly Textile 89-57. In the AHL tonight, the Falcons beat the River Rats 3-1. College hockey, RPI and Colgate skate to a 4-4 tie. Weekend sweep for Union, beating Cornell tonight 1-0. Trevor Koenig, 9th career shutout for him. High school hoops now, Class A quarterfinals, Albany High and Columbia at UAlbany. The Falcons led by 10 late in the game, but the Crusaders scored 12 unanswered points. Jason Barreto's layup ties it at 62. And here's the game winner, Justin Ferris. The strong move to the hole for the Crusaders' first and only lead. Catholic Central knocks off Albany 64-62. The Class B quarterfinals, Queensbury Spartans versus LaSalle's Cadets. The Spartans' Brendan Harris buries the 3. Harris had 21 to lead all scorers. LaSalle's Dennis Pittinello, number 22 here, glides in for the layup. Pittinello dropped in 20 points. LaSalle advances to the semis with a 61-47 win over Queensbury. Class D quarterfinals, Berkshire versus Bob Catherwood's Heatley High. Senior Josh Horton, number 23, led the Hornets with 20 points. Berkshire was led by Ramel Alexander's 14 points. Berkshire wins by 11, 56-45. Class A scoreboard now, Schenectady beat Columbia. Burnt Hills nipped Bishop McGinn. Colony rattles Shakers 70-61. Class B, Gloversville beats Shelmont 76-59. Bishop Gibbons over number 1 seed Scotia 74-69. Cobleskill Richmondville beat Glens Falls. In Class C, Burn Knox beat Greenwich in OT. Stillwater hammered Canajoharie behind Esopes 27. Maple Hill spanked Mayfield. Warrensburg topped Hoosick Valley. And in Class D, Rensselaer beat Fort Anne. Elsewhere, Voorheesville spanks Valete. The Lady Blackbirds are a perfect 21-0. Schuylerville beat Tamarack. Class D girls Rensselaer beat Northville. Argyle by 14 over St. Johnsville. Dwaynesburg by 6 over Hartford. If your school's not here, your coach didn't call it in. Back to college hoops now. Third-ranked North Carolina at #1 Duke. Senior day at Cameron Indoor. Wojo cries and hugs his coaches. Second half, Ed Cota to Vince Carter for the alley-oop jam. Heels by 16, but Duke goes on a 27 run over the final 8 minutes. Capped by Rashawn McLeod's driving layup, 77-75. Carolina misses 4 free throws in the final seconds. Duke wins by 2, 77-75. Elsewhere, UConn spanks St. John's. In the NBA, the Heat beat the Nets. In the NHL, Devils over Carolina, 4-3 a final score. And of course, Philadelphia Flyers beat the Rangers today, 3-1. Elaine, that'll do it in sports.
They're having a great time at the MAAC.
Yeah, 10,000 people down there watching. Hopefully Sienna can come back.
Right. Thank you, Mark. We'll be back with a last look at your forecast in a moment. And now we have a last look at your forecast with Paul.
All right, Elaine, we have some showers for tomorrow and then some breaks of sunshine, perhaps even a few showers or a storm late in the afternoon, mild, 50 to 55. And the next several days shows cooler temperatures will be the trend. Looks kind of ominous there, but just a few light rain showers, perhaps a little bit of wet snow in the highest of elevations. We'll bring back some of the sunshine in the forecast the second half of Wednesday and certainly on Thursday with a high of 38. Welcome to March.
Thanks a lot, Paul. And we thank you for joining us. Hope to see you back here tomorrow at 6. Have a good night.